Soho Motorsports comes along. The new engine package they got coming out, bulletproof VQ, blah, blah, blah. What have we been thinking this whole copper pistons? VQ dead like cat.
You're 97.
You know this?
No.
We have confirmed a $25,000 VQ is not bulletproof. Clearly it's the same spec as the piston, so let's say goodbye. You didn't do me well, and I'm not gonna miss you. And that was the last you guys are gonna see of VQs on this channel out of me. I appreciate everybody's patience that has ordered a shirt, because it's been a lot on a one-man job packaging all these and doing the labels. First 50 orders went out today, so those are en route to you guys now, but let's go ahead and hop into this video. Well, I think the giveaway car will be probably the appropriate car to make this video in, so let's go ahead and hop in, oh girl. Oh, that's like a 3-week cold start right there. Easy. Alright guys, so what I'm not gonna do is, there's no point in combating anything. Whether I think one way or another, it doesn't matter. All it will be is a back and forth, and we're not gonna get into that. So, all I'm gonna talk about today is my personal experience on what has transpired with all this stuff with this motor, what I think about everything. Back in the very beginning, my car, I bought a 64mm car, stock motor. Car ran completely great. I had Monsef tune it. The car ran its ass off. Like, it beat so many cars it shouldn't have. Just a stock motor 370Z. Probably made 200, 300 street hits in it, and the car never skipped a beat. Never had a problem with it. I broke 2 transmissions in the car. One day, it was Thanksgiving of 2020. I took the car out for a little rip, and third gear was blown out. I haven't driven the car in months. It's still cool. And at this point, I already planned on doing a built motor over the winter. So I was kind of like not caring about the car. Took it out for a video driving with the blown trans, and I roll into it from a low mile per hour in 4th gear, ripping it, click 5th, which you're already not supposed to do, stock bottom end. Car was probably barely at operating temp, had old E85 in it, and it spun a bearing. And I was like, well, not even too bothered by it. We planned on building the motor anyway. My initial game plan was doing a piston rod head stud motor, just a basic build, make like 750, 800 wheel. Wasn't trying to go crazy with it all. Soho Motorsports comes along. The new engine package they got coming out, bulletproof VQ, blah, blah, blah. Really didn't want to spend 20 grand on a motor, and I ended up getting talked into it. So Soho reached out to me. So, hey, if you promote this, we'll help you out a little bit. I did get a little bit of help on the motor, but it seems like, from what I've been told by other people, a lot of people got help on the motor. So we'll start off there. I got talked into it. I did it. I put 75% up front, and then after a month went by, I was like, fuck it, I'll just pay the rest off. I don't want this hanging over my head. Paid the whole 100% of what the motor cost. It's supposed to take 1 to 2 months to get done. This is the middle of COVID, so I'm not expecting a lot. Ended up getting the motor like almost a year later. So deadline wasn't hit, kept having things get done. My motor actually had an issue when they were building it, and it had to get sent back to the machine shop because there's metal in the oil when they put it on the run stand. So motor's already sent back one time because there was some type of issue. We won't even get into that. And just to where I'm at, I wasn't even going to speak on this. I've had a million people messaging me, asking me what I think, and I'm not just going to sit here quiet, so I'll speak up on it. I got no hard feelings on any end. I'm just, like I said, speaking my personal experience here. Just after watching the new video that came out that Soho put out, I'm just like, it kind of reminds me of the kid that hits a kid in the face, and then the kid that gets hit in the face hits the kid back, and then the kid that hit him initially goes to tell the teacher, but doesn't tell the teacher that he hit him first. That's kind of what I feel like the situation's like when I see these emails posted. So we'll get into all that in a second. There were several things that were kind of iffy throughout this build. And like I said, I'm done with this at this point. I'm just going to tell you how it was. I did like 5 oil changes on the car. In the midst of me already breaking it in, they're like, hey, the oil, we found out that these work better with a higher oil viscosity. And they make me change the weight of the oil after they already told me to order this expensive-ass Motul that I've ordered tons and tons of. They're like, oh, hey, now switch. We want a higher weight. Why would you want a higher weight now all of a sudden? Clearly something happened. So that's one of the first problems that I had out the gate. The second thing is, whether you guys want to say whatever this is, no car should be doing this. I ran the same cooling system that I ran on at every single street hit, that it never pushed any coolant on my stock motor. Before we even put a pound of boost through my motor, like we didn't put 1 pound through it, just driving the car normal, it was puking out coolant all over the timing cover every single time I drive the car. That tells me there's something wrong. I brought it up to them, like, hey, don't worry about it. I'm like, Every time I drive, I have to pull over because there's overwhelming smell of coolant puked all over my whole engine bay. And they're like, oh, maybe the coolant reservoir is too small. I'm like, I ran this same coolant reservoir making 16 to 18 pounds of boost for a season and a half and never had this problem through boost. I'm just driving it normal, and every time I drive it, it's puking out coolant. So that's red flag number one. Also, I've seen in the video that they said that I had 3 spark plugs break on the dyno, which is not true at all. We had 1 spark plug break, and it was fixed. Not only that, I'm not going to say any names due to people's privacy, but from their camp themselves, when I posted, I'm not going to show the names, when I posted this in our VQ chat, that this plug was broken, someone from their camp goes, oh, no fun. Could have been a defect with the plug. I've seen that happen a couple times like that. Do I clip where Mr. Hungry's talking about, oh, this is from detonation, and put it in here? I guess I will.
Imagine the amount of violent vibration that had to actually go into the cylinder head in order to shatter the porcelain on what was reported as 3 spark plugs had actually broken porcelain on.
So not only did they say that, they've already said they've experienced the same thing multiple times. But regardless, you guys are either seeing detonation from their tuning as well, or it's a spark plug defect and it has nothing to do with detonation whatsoever. Another thing I'll bring up, driving the car home. So when you guys see my dyno video, if you guys watch the dyno video where we couldn't make over 900, the car was fine in the dyno, never pushed any coolant until we shut the car for about 30 minutes, and then we turn it back on, it's puking coolant out the exhaust. We're like, what the fuck? We don't know what to do. We let it warm up for a second. The second the car gets back up to operating temperature, the coolant goes away. No more smoke out of the exhaust. So at that point, we're like, hey, we'll go drive it. We'll see if it gets hot. And if it gets hot, we'll just have to tow it home. We drive the car up and down the street 3 times, never moves from operating temperature. So that's what made us drive the car home. We didn't drive the car home with it pegged at 240. We drove the car home cruising it, and it stayed at operating temperature the whole way. So don't act, I hate that looked like, oh, this idiot drove the car home while it's overheating with the lifted head gasket, blah, blah, blah. No, we drove it home completely fine operating temperature, watching it the whole way. And I had extra coolant with me in case something did happen. Now, the thing that I don't like is that people act as if something that's bulletproof has a 100% success rate. Nothing has a 100% success rate. Just because this car and this car and this car have done something doesn't mean there's not going to be one that comes along down the line that doesn't do the same thing. There's been a couple red flags about my motor throughout the whole thing, and that I've been worried about. Like when I got it, the upper manifold had leaves in it. I'm like, I paid this much money and this is what I get. I didn't even mention that ever just because I was literally embarrassed by it. And like I said, I'm not bagging anybody here, but I'm watching myself get attacked, so I got to speak up on my personal experience. And if we're being honest, I know several cars with the same motor that are back at their shop right now. Guys, there's been 20 plus of these motors that have been sold. Where are they? Have you seen them making hits on Instagram? Have you seen them on YouTube? 20 of them? You haven't seen one of them besides their own personal shop cars? Come on. I know one car specifically. Like I said, I'm not going to say any names here, but just because we're acting like these things don't fail, this car got tuned by a huge reputable tuner. The car spun a bearing after a few street hits. Same exact motor as me. Went out right around the same time as mine. So, like I said, guys, do some objective thinking on your end. If you guys want to blame admin, if you want to blame Soho, do whatever you want to do. I'm not even going to get into that portion anymore. I'm just specifically here speaking on myself because no one's out of money besides me in this situation. I'm the only person that lost thousands and 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 thousands of dollars. Probably didn't even get to the right amount of thousands that I just lost. Now, here's where I get really frustrated, is that in Soho's video, they go, guys, we don't want you to think we left Griff hung out to dry. We offered him help. Guys, they offered me help. I'll show you what help they offered me. What they offered me was, we get $395,000. We fix your car, we tune it, we put our banner on it, and then you're helped. $395,000 doesn't come out of the air. That doesn't happen. So it comes from somebody. They wanted Monsif to pay the whole $390,000. Now, if we're talking about morally, they said we morally wanted to help. I'll talk about morally. Monsif's my boy. We've been good friends outside of this whole VQ stuff since he started tuning my car. and he did a great job tuning it prior, done countless hours helping me tuning it on the street at night before we even got it to the dyno. And I'm not just going to hang him out to dry $395,000 and then him not even be a part of the project anymore. Whether who wants to deem who at fault, if he's forking all that money up to fix my car and he's not even a part of it anymore, morally that's not right to me and I wouldn't do that. So for you guys saying, oh, he's clout chasing, he didn't even accept the free motor. It wasn't fucking free. It was never going to be free. It was going to be paid by for somebody. They said my motor wasn't even reusable. It was reusable. There's plenty of things that I've already sold off of the car. They wanted to start from scratch. I'm sure that motor had been fixed and put back in another car. So that's one thing, and I don't want to hear about the morally stuff. The part I just skipped over. So here's where I get aggravated, is when they talk about saying we tried to help Griff. Guys, they did not want to help me at all. This was the most like snakish situation I've ever been a part of in my life. And I felt like I've been homies with these guys. All the guys, the text there, Nick, the owner, like, I was like, we're cool. There wasn't even a doubt in my mind that this issue was going to be resolved when the car broke on the dyno that day. I don't know how it turned south so fast, but it did. So basically they said, hey, I sent my motor back to them. I paid $800 to get my motor shipped back to them, blown up. Once they look it over, they say, hey, you got to sign this NDA, and which they now said is null and void. And then we will tell you what we found. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, they're going to fix it. They found what went wrong, and they just don't want me to talk about it. That's fine. I'll sign it. So I signed the NDA. At this point, we have a follow-up phone call with them and Monsif and I. And like I said, I'm thinking this is going to go completely fine. We're all homies. I'm trying to push their platform for them. I've done tons of sales for them. I've had 3 people message me, tell me they bought the same engine as me because of my videos. They've bought turbo kits from them. So I've pushed a lot of sales for them. Monsif sells their turbo kits and supercharger kits daily. I'm like, this is we're all in a group circle here, working together, pushing the product. This could have gone so much easier if they would have offered some help at all. They offered nothing, guys. The second we got in this meeting to talk, it was like we were enemies. They're from 63rd, we're from 64th. Like, this was not cordial at all. I felt the tension in the room. It's like they hated us, and I'm like, bro, what is going on? Their conclusion after telling us what they found, we're not warranting the motor. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, I just threw all this money down the drain. It wasn't like they're like, now here's a solution. They're just like, we're not warranting it. Let us know what you want to do. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, I thought we're boys. We've pushed all this, your platform. I've said your name in every video, and this is how we get treated. There was no help offered. There wasn't help offered till days later, and I made a complaint about there being no help offered. And I'll get to that right now. So Monsif, being the good guy that he is, he just feels bad for me in the situation. He's like, can I help? Like, we sponsor a motor together to get this back on the road, because this was a huge thing. You guys know how long I've talked about this. This is supposed to be like the nastiest VQ in the street. Sadly, this never even came to fruition. But Monsif offered some help, like, can you guys sponsor partial? I'll sponsor partial, because I'm the one that just fucked out of all this. And I only went this crazy because I was trying to grow the channel. I was not going to go this crazy with the build. I was like, you know what? This will be like a business expense to me. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get into it. After Monsif made that offer to them, they say, right here, we have carefully considered all the evidence along with the information gathered during the Zoom call and the ideas that you provided. Unfortunately, this failure was not due to anything that Soho Motorsports did, as it was a failure based on the items we discussed, which means that we cannot offer any additional assistance. After this is brought up, it's sent back to me. I get part of the conversation now, and I just want my motor back, because right now I'm fucked. And I'm not even thinking about other shit going on. I'm just like, I'm fucked. I need to get my money back somehow. I'm going to start parting it out. So I said, hey Nick, how soon can we get the motor back? Thanks. Griff and all the components need to be placed in the boxes, put on the pallet, which will be done today. As soon as you schedule a pickup, they can be ready to go as soon as tomorrow morning. Please let me know once you schedule a pickup. So I paid $800 to get my blown up motor sent back there for you guys to tell me to get fucked. And then I have to pay another $800 to get it sent back? Fuck no. That's $1,600 just to send it to them to tell me to get fucked. No. I'm not having that. So here's where I say, I spent $800 to get my engine shipped there with the expectations of having some sort of help getting the engine fixed, and it's coming back in pieces unfixed. Can you guys consider the covering of the shipping on this while I try and reach a solution on getting this thing back on the road? The reason we didn't disassemble the motor ourselves because you guys wouldn't offer any help if the motor was opened by anyone other than you guys. I'd prefer to not pay $1,600 to move my paperweight around with injectors and fuel rails. Clearly at this point I'm aggravated because now I'm out of all this money plus more to get my fucking broken motor back in pieces. Now here's where this is so fucking funny to me, is that we're saying, oh, we offered help. Here's what they're not showing you before they offered fucking help. Griffin, I can understand the frustration from this whole situation. However, proper in-depth documentation was shown as why this engine had a failure. I am concluding, now this is where it's condescending to me, looking like I'm a fucking idiot. I am concluding that something is still not making sense and would like for you to explain to us on how you are still under the impression that this is our fault for the engine failing. As a client of Soho Motorsports, we do not want to have any client not understand the situation and leave with a sour taste in their mouth, which is why I would like you to explain your thoughts on the situation. Here's where I go in depth. I was expecting a little more help, being that I'm a client that spent $17,000 plus with you guys and push and refer clients to you guys throughout the series of my build on the internet. Whether you guys deem yourselves at fault or not, along with several other DMs from people telling me they also purchased the same engine package from being convinced through my videos of me promoting it. If that's not the case, that's fine. Just would expected a little bit more help with how this whole situation turned out, especially with implying help towards me if we didn't disassemble the motor ourselves. Now, after I say that, at this point is when they're like, you know what? He's fucking right. Now we'll offer him some help, which is still not really help in the end. After discussing this issue further with our team, this only option, and this is the one you guys saw on the internet. Monsif covers the labor machining of the new engine. We put our banner on your car. I provide a statement saying it's not their failure. This is just a money grab to me. Like, this isn't really wanting to help. This is like, let's get more money, and that's it. Like, there was no sorry, we're sorry this happened. It was unapologetic the whole time, and it was completely against me until I even brought up how much sales I did for them, and Monsif does daily. This could have been such an easier solution. Do you guys think if Cletus has a Texas speed motor blow up, with him tuning it, they're not going to offer him some sort of help because he's pushing that much to their platform? This isn't a common thing, guys. 1,000 horsepower VQs aren't built every day, and this could have been a very profitable thing if this was handled properly. And I'm not even saying whether they want to deem themselves at fault or not, that they pay 1,000% of what it cost. I would have even been willing to come out of a little pocket just to get this thing back on the road. They wanted another
$395,000
to get this motor on the road, and all out of Monsif's pocket, and then him not even be part of the project anymore. Now, if we're going to talk about moral stuff, Monsif being my boy and tuning my car this whole time, I am morally not going to accept that and make him pay for the whole thing when we can't even put in fucking black and white what caused the failure, whether it was them, whether it was him, whether it was the turbo kit, whatever way you want to point the finger. I am not going to know in my head that I let Monsif put that much money out to get my motor fixed and him not even be a part of the project anymore. I had a bunch of people reach out to me that have problems with the same company now at this point and tell me all their stories, and I'm just like, wow, this doesn't shock me anymore. Also, my intercooler, apparently a bunch of people knew before I knew that it wasn't even to make the horsepower number I wanted to make. And if Soho knew that, I don't know why they wouldn't make some suggestions to me before we finished the build. Hey, you should probably get a bigger intercooler. It was just like, nope, buy it, and let's see what happens. So this is just a whole frustrating situation to me. And like I said, no one's out the money besides me. The only way I'm even keeping this car at this point, if you guys haven't seen in my videos prior, if all the t-shirts sell on SheWentsToZ.com for the entries to win this car right here, if all of them sell to win my Nismo, I'm going to do a VR38 swap. If it doesn't happen, I'm just going to be parting the 370 out, which I've already begun, and I'll be putting a stock motor in it and selling the 370 as a stock car. Which is disgusting that I even have to say that and hear that in my head to me. I wanted this build to work out so bad. But that's where we are. I'm not going to keep throwing money at this car that hasn't given me any money back yet. So if all the t-shirts sell on SheWentsToZ.com, great. I will do the full VR38 swap. I've already talked to Sadidi about doing it. So if you guys want to check him out, it's SAT Performance on Instagram. He's been a big help with offering me information on doing that, and it's a very big possibility I'll do that moving forward. But, yeah, guys, like I said, I don't even want to get this upset about this, but when there's just facts that aren't shown and then I'm labeled as a bad guy in the comments and stuff like that, that's where I get aggravated. I never was going to speak on this. I made my video parting out the car, and people took what they wanted to do with that, and I guess Soho was obligated to make a video. They were clearly already expecting it to happen, so they had a video ready to fire once I'd posted that, even though I didn't even mention anything on the situation. Monts made his backup video because he's got to protect his brand, and that's what I think everybody in the situation is doing here, just protecting their brand, rightfully so on all ends. So it's a shitty situation. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to move forward with it. This whole situation, it's not buddy-buddy. It's not. It was, and I thought it was, until it came down to the wire where something needed to get fixed, and I really saw the true side of how this was handled. I'm going to leave that there, guys. No hard feelings on my end anymore. I had to get that off of my chest. But now that we're where we're at with this, I guess let's just go ahead and test out and see how bulletproof a $25,000 VQ is. Alright guys, so today is the day. We're going to see how bulletproof a $25,000 VQ is. And we're going to hop into it right now. Alright guys, so first, all you have to do to complete this process is start with a $25,000 VQ. Take it, put it in the back of your $25,000 Subaru STI. Set it down with your $25,000 head gaskets. $25,000 head gaskets. You know what, dude? This might work for a good piston. What have we been thinking this whole copper pistons? Won't lift the head then. Then all you need is your $25,000 AR pistol, 25,000 round mag, 300 blackout, 25,000 pellets of Tannerite. Then you're ready to go. So let's go ahead and head on over. Show telling ass. Oh guys, this could have been something great. Still could be. If you guys buy all the shirts on shootz.com, we're gonna still VR38 swap this sucker. So it's up to you guys if you want to see that. But for the time being, Harry's gonna have to hold her down, dude. If anyone's interested in this thing, hit me up too. It's gonna be for sale very soon because your boy needs another Trackhawk. So if y'all want to cop this thing, let me know. Alright guys, we just pulled up to Renfro's crib, and this is where the magic happens. I've not put a single round through this thing yet, so we're gonna test out the holographic, see how sighted in it is before we start dumping on the motor. Can you tell if that's high or low?
Looked a little low. There it is.
Showtime, see how much work this bitch can do. Beat you dead like cats. I want to fucking live out here. Hell yeah, 25 VQ in the dirt.
So that's one of the waterfalls on the property right there.
I'm in awe. Oh, we're taking the Subi back here.
Oh my god. Bro, we got now. We are not.
You know this?
Nope, bro, no. No fucking way! Oh my god! Oh my god! No fucking way! Holy bro. Oh my god, dude.
Alright, I'm buying one. I'm selling my car. Guys. Hold up. See this little hunter
Wait, hold
around
on.
action talking about. That hit? They hit the sign?
I'm watching it through the camera. Oh, that was close as fuck. I think that was a hit. Hit.
Y'all ready for me to go to town? All right. Let's take a look.
Oh my
Oh, yo.
God. You hit it in every cylinder.
300 blackout said, what's up, boy? Oh, I didn't even notice that. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Brand new sights. Haven't even dialed that thing in yet. Oh, yeah, look, 300 blackout penetrates. 300 blackout penetrates big time. So we have confirmed a $25,000 VQ is not bulletproof. And this is like, look at, dude, look at that.
Holy shit.
You think that cylinder would be down on compression if we put it back together?
Probably not.
No. I think now is the point when we could say throw it all away and start over.
I think
Before,
the airflow would
I
be
don't know.
pretty good now.
Dude, look at the round how it whizzes out. It's like, oh, there's got to be a bullet right here. Like, and hey, brother, we take the A out Japan, brother. You heard me. Back to the. Oh, damn. I'm shocked. All right, Renfro. Now it's time for the marksman to step in, and we're gonna see what some Tannerite will do in this $25,000 VQ block. Oh, yeah, dump on it.
These are too fucking expensive.
Bro, I like that. Dude, that bitch is hot. I can feel that goddamn. Sure if this is gonna fit, but clearly it's the same spec as the piston. So let's say goodbye. You didn't do me well, and I'm not gonna miss you. That did it, brother. Yes, sir.
Dude, I'm just gonna tell you guys right now, there's not a piece of that block left.
Oh yeah, it's gone. It's literally gone. Old girl has left the chat, brother. And that was the last you guys are gonna see of VQs on this channel out of me. See the VR. Buy your damn shirts, shootz.com. If all of them sell, we're VR swapping the 370. Oh my God, the GoPro's still alive. And the block is disintegrated.
Everything's disintegrated. Oh. Look at the target.
Oh, the target's gone. He didn't think about that.
Everything's gone. I saw something fly over here though.
Oh yeah, look, it flew all the way over here. Dude, look over there!
Holy fuck. We're selling them in glass jars. Glass jars.
Yeah, literally. Bro, 25 grand and it can't take 2 pounds of Tannerite. What the hell? 2 pounds of Tannerite, 25 grand should take a fucking tank round. He said, where'd the block go? Heads ain't stuck to the block no more.
Honestly,
What'd you do, dude?
What happened?
What the fuck?
Dude, we gotta watch this GoPro video.